Welcome back to another video. I wasn't sure if I was going to do this one or not, but a few people from the community have asked me to address certain issues, so this will be touching on the subject of what happened when I was stopped for skating a while ago and my recent court case. For those of you who don't know, I had a court case last week for riding my electric skateboard, so I'm going to go into some details about the time I was stopped. I will go over some of the run up to the court case, what happened afterwards, but I'm not going to cover anything to do with the whole kind of legal side. I'm not qualified to be giving legal advice, so that's a subject that I'm not going to touch on. Okay, so what happened on the 3rd of July at 4:40. I was stopped on my electric skateboard riding down is it CS3 I think it's called, embankment. I'd come from Big Benway and I was just riding down the hill there. I was heading towards Marie's to get some food. I was also in the middle of a range test. For those of you who keep asking for a Street Wheels range test, this is why I haven't finished my range test. I was right in the middle of it, 16 miles in when I got stopped. So yeah, Street Wheel range test coming when it warms up a bit. So I was stopped and had a really nice conversation with the police officer. Really friendly guy. We were having a chat about kind of electric skate, ridables, legal issues, outdated laws, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, he's a really friendly guy and really took the time out to listen to kind of what I had to say about Eastgate and all the other stuff around it. Although he still did decide to issue me with a £50 fixed penalty notice. So I didn't want to pay this. In the post you get an offer, conditional offer to pay £50, or you have the option to go to court. So let's go to that one and that one. This also might help you out if you're in the same situation as me and you get stopped and this happens. You might want to know kind of like what to expect. If you're issued a fixed penalty notice, you can pay it, it's up to you. For me, obviously not guilty, so I decided to fight it. So this is kind of what to expect and the kind of outline of what happens. So I sent the fixed penalty back saying I don't agree and I would like to be heard in court, which is the only two options. So then you get another letter regarding your fixed penalty notice. Your request for a court hearing has been noted and you'll be sent further correspondence. So then it goes from the police to I think CPS. CPS look at it, they decide they want to prosecute, and then you'll get a letter later on saying a magistrate has looked at your case and decided to continue as well, which all seems like a lot of fuss. So then you get an option, you get more kind of like legal papers, so I can't really show you too much. So then you get a letter in the post, which does seem a little intimidating, and it gives you the option to plead guilty or plead guilty or plead not guilty and go to court. But if you dare to plead not guilty, you could be paying the court costs when the court try to find you guilty. So obviously this seems kind of like slightly stacked against you with the three options of guilty, guilty or not guilty but. And then it also says you can plead guilty and we'll give you a third off your fine. So it all seems slightly weighted against you, but if you genuinely are innocent, then obviously it's not a problem, and you can again you can fill your form in online now. It doesn't give you enough space, I think, on the form online to the option to plead your case. so you complete it in advance, and yeah, it's kind of lacking in enough space to really give a good detailed argument, but there's enough space for some sort of bullet points. So you fill that in, you send that off, and wait again. You'll get statements. I've got a couple of photos. I'm not even sure if I'm allowed to give this stuff out, so I'll not. And then you just wait, and then you will get your date, which will be magistrate's court, local to you probably, where you'll have to turn up. Okay, so then you've got plenty of time to kind of, the police will send you the any information that they have for you to look over. You can prep your defence, get everything ready. So you had a bit of time, so I had quite a bit of a defence. As you can see, there's quite a lot there. So we went very prepared, no problem, really not worried about the case at all. When we got there, the police officer who gave me the ticket was also waiting around, so myself and a friend sat and we had a really interesting chat with the guy. Again, really nice, nothing against the police officer whatsoever. He was just a guy doing his job with the information that he'd been given and doing what he thought was right. And we had this conversation, again, really quite civil, while we were waiting for our case. It'd been delayed for about 2 hours. Going over kind of laws, case laws, previous things he might not have been aware of that have happened, setting not precedents, but certain attempts by the CPS again to kind of look at rideables, electric skate and things like this. And then we got put into our case. This is something I'm not going to kind of go over, but it was done in, it got started and it was done. So out of all of this, I took the top piece off, and that was it. We were out. So not guilty. Really good verdict, obviously. Not that we were expecting anything else, but there we go. And afterwards, again, we had another really friendly chat with the officer. I did feel really sorry for the guy because the CPS made him turn up, and he sat there. He must have been maybe, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours just sat in this really uncomfortable chair. So yeah, poor guy. So again, afterwards, yeah, we just had a really nice friendly chat. He was a really nice guy, and invited him for a ride. So hopefully he'll turn up and kind of get to know us a little better outside of the kind of justice system. So if you get stopped, I would say just be prepared, know what's going on. I would look into your rights and things like this, but again, I'm not here to give you any legal advice. There's something I don't want to touch on. Also, the police are just doing their job. If certain information hasn't filtered down for them and they're not aware of certain things, it's not their fault that they're stopping you with perhaps the limited information that has been given to them regarding certain subjects. Yeah, so that's it. Just a very quick video this week to kind of touch on some points. I hope this was kind of helpful and useful. Please don't ask me if electric skateboarding is legal or illegal. This hasn't set any precedents. The case was over so quickly. There was no chance to get into the kind of really nitty-gritty of yeah, specifics. So yes, ride sensibly, ride safely, you know, be respectful of everyone. If a police officer asks you to stop riding somewhere, I would suggest you stop riding wherever you're riding. Yeah, stay safe. Oh, coming up next week, I've got the 6-inch kit from Evolve, the AT wheels. They are all back in stock, so those of you who couldn't get them before, they sold out really quickly. They're back in stock. Sorry I haven't reviewed them, it's been raining and I've been working on my case. Go-kart track, hopefully see you all there. I will bring the 6-inch tyres along for you to try out if you haven't already. And I will see you next week.